Welcome to TV3. On this week's episode, we'll be talking about some cyborg ninjas, a pair of Gundam girls, I bought some big black robots, and of course, answering some of your questions in the feedback section. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to wish a happy Thanksgiving to my fellow Canadians because, of course, today, Monday, October the 9th, is Thanksgiving here in Canada, and I hope that you are spending today with your friends, your family, your loved ones, and you're just having a great time, eating lots of good food, and just enjoying the moment. And hey, if you're watching this video on Thanksgiving, you can save it till tomorrow. There's more important things out there. But for everyone else, we've got a lot of toys to talk about, so let's get into it. Alright, so I thought I would start off the news segment this week by addressing some of the major toy or just general conventions that happened in the past couple of weeks. And first up is TFCon USA. It was over in Washington, D.C. And while I wasn't able to attend, there were some really cool announcements, of course, being third-party Transformers. Now, personally, I'm not the biggest guy in the third-party scene. I do observe it, and there's a lot of cool stuff, but I'm very picky when it comes to third-party, except when it comes to one company, and that is Make Toys or Make Toys, and they showed off two really cool things. First up, they had this announcement, and it is they're doing a Transformers Cybertron or Galaxy Force Optimus Prime, and they showed the little version as well as an outline for the full combined mode, and this looks like an incredible design. Now, Galaxy Force or Cybertron Optimus is probably, for many fans, the best Optimus design. It's definitely in my top 5, though personally I'm more of a Car Robots RID Fire Truck Optimus. That's always been my personal favorite, but this is definitely up there as one of the coolest toys. Make Toys, I love the way they design toys. I just definitely am into their design philosophy, and I have high hopes for this. I'm sure it's going to be great, and I can't wait to see actual prototypes come to light in the near future. Make Toys also had a second announcement that I found of huge interest, and that is their full reveal of the Thunder Menace from their Cross Dimension series. Now, if you don't know, this is their homage to Super Jinrai or Power Master Prime here in North America. Now, Power Master Prime was my first ever Transformers toy, and I've always loved the idea of Power Master Prime. Make Toys' take on it is, of course, way more, let's say, anime inspired, and I've super loved it the way it looks. They have released a black version of this prior to Thunder Menace in the form of Thunder Erebus. However, the big reveal here with Thunder Menace is that it's going to come with additional parts in the form of the Divine Suit set. These are going to combine into a little vehicle, as well as become a further additional armor pack for Thunder Menace, and I think it looks just like the coolest Transformer I've seen in a long time. Can't wait for this to come out. Scheduled release is December. Price tag of $125 USD. So kind of pricey, but about on the mark for most third-party Transformers. Okay, switching gears over to something a bit more broad. New York Comic Con just happened this past weekend. And while New York Comic Con had a lot of announcements, I have to admit there wasn't that many big toy-related announcements. They had some cool things, and I struggled to find stuff that would really appeal to both me and to this channel, but there was a trio of robots that I feel is worth picking out, and that is the new Pacific Rim Robot Damashi toys. We have Saber Athena, Guardian Bravo, and Obsidian Fury. Now, I think all these look pretty cool. Saber Athena is, of course, the girl, so she looks super girly. Guardian Bravo lives up to his name, and he seems like he's going to be some sort of medic. I don't know. To me, it looks like the movie Ratchet in ambulance colors. And then the last one, Obsidian Fury, well, he's Obsidian. He's a black robot. I do like the look of this a lot. I like how he's just tall and thin. It almost gives me Evangelion vibes, especially from the side shot. I think that's why I like it. But nevertheless, these trio of toys looks cool. Can't wait to see more when they come out. Good Smile had some new Figma announcements this week. And first up, they're doing another Saber. Only this one is red because this is Figma Nero. But let's face it, this really is just a red Saber without the armor. Of course, Nero comes from Fate Extella, and I think this toy looks great. I mean, but then again, Sabers always look great. This one included. It's going to cost you about 7,000 yen. So yes, very pricey Figma. There's going to be an unfortunate Good Smile online shop exclusive in the form of an eyes closed face. Whether that's worth it to you or not, I can't answer. I don't know. You may find some joy out of that. I do like her little buckler, and her sword looks definitely neat. And I'm a sucker for red. I'm a sucker for saber. I'm a sucker for this figure. However, Good Smile did have a second Figma announcement, and to be honest, this is probably the most important toy announcement for me this past week, and that is Figma Genji from Overwatch. Yep, the cyborg ninja is finally here, and he's looking pretty slick. Now, off the bat, I will say I think that his torso looks a little bit too wide. He's just not quite as slender as I'd like him to be. Otherwise, he looks pretty darn cool. He's got his shurikens, he's got his katana, he's got effect parts for throwing the shurikens, and, well, there's not really much else to say. He definitely seems to be able to hold some really nice poses and extended articulation, more so than that of an average Figma. On the flip side, I will say his joint cuts are a bit more apparent. They're not quite as well integrated, despite being a cyborg body. But, I mean, who cares? It's an Overwatch Figma. I love Overwatch. You know I'm going to buy this. I can't wait. Next up, Tamashii Nations has shown off their next DX Chogokin Makris release, and it is, of course, another VF31, only this one is the VF31A, the cannon fodder unit, or the grunt suit of Makris Delta. Now, I have personally sworn off buying any more of these VF31s, but this cannon fodder set is just real tempting because, one, I think it actually has the best head sculpt, and two, it's got a completely different molding of the wings. Instead of being the swept forward look, these are of the more traditional swept back, and honestly, I've always liked planes with traditional looking wings. The swept forward look is cool and aggressive, but it's not the thing that I favor more. So yes, the only thing holding me back on this toy is that it's gray. And it's super gray. It's so boring and bland. But then again, it's the grunt suit. It's supposed to be that way. So I'm a little conflicted on this one. I probably won't buy it, but boy, I wouldn't mind owning it. Continuing on the topic of metal, Bandai have also announced the Metal Build Exia 10th Anniversary Edition. Now, this is kind of just a reissue of Exia in a special iris colored plating, and what that means is they basically repainted the toy with a pearlescent finish, and on the clear GN condensers it's more of an iridescent finish, so it's got like rainbow effects to it. They've also changed some of the color placement. They've changed the colors of a lot of the decals and markings, and the big thing about this toy is that whereas the original Metal Build Exias came with parts to form Exia and Exia Repair 3, this one will also give you the ability to form Exia Repair 2. So you get a ton of parts in this set, a really beautiful finish, a really slick box art, and unfortunately, this all comes at a huge cost of about 30,000 yen. Yes, that's the same price as the Perfect Raid Exia with the LED unit, so this is real expensive. Do I want it? You bet I want it, but for that much money, boy, that's asking a lot, Bandai. You're really pushing it with this one. Do I think it'll sell well? Of course it will. It's Exia. Everyone loves Exia. It's gonna get bought, and if I miss out on it now, it will probably go for a crazy amount on the secondary market. Okay, and let's finish up the news with some Gundams. And guys, there's only 2 Gundams I gotta talk about this week, and they're both from the 3rd episode of Gundam Battle Log, and they are, of course, the Command Fumina and Rick Do-Gyanko. Is that how you say it? Rick Do-Gyanko? These guys look super cool. They're, of course, slight remolds on the already released kits of Hyper Gyanko and Winning Fumina. We'll start with the Gyanko, and I gotta say, I am really surprised at how well the Rick Da motif is working for Gyanko. It just seems to suit her aesthetic quite well. I love the colors, but then, of course, who doesn't like black and purple? And the giant cannons and weapons are nice additions, too. It definitely does look mostly like it's just going to be the standard Gyanko that we already have with a slightly different weapons layout. but I'm in for it. I think it looks super cool. It didn't really do much in the episode, but it's a design I'm into and I want it. Of course, the cooler of these two has to be Command Fumina. And now this is Fumina, and she's taken on the motif of the Command Gundam, the small little SD unit. And she looks great. I gotta say, this is probably my favorite version of the Fumina kits to date. Why? Because this is the one that actually utilizes, I would say, the most realistic armor additions to her. Also, she comes with tactical glasses, and I'm a sucker for a girl with tactical glasses. Now, her armor can, of course, be stripped completely off her, leaving her somewhat naked with a gun, and then you end up with a small little variant of the Command Gundam in SD form. So that's always a really neat idea. Again, this is something that was derived from the winning Fumina that was recently revealed, and yeah, it looks super neat. I have to say, the unarmored Fumina with the gun is giving me ideas for maybe a custom D.Va from Overwatch, just because her holding that pistol and just basically having nothing more than a skin suit on, I feel like it is a possible thing to do. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. In any case, I will definitely be wanting to get my hands on this. Unfortunately, both this Fumina and the Do-Gyanko are P Bandai exclusives, so they are going to be a little bit trickier to acquire, but guess what? I've seen the comments on Battlelog 3. I've seen that a lot of you hate this thing, so don't buy it, okay? Just leave them out there for me to get. That's all I ask. Alright, so if you've been keeping up with the channel, then you'll know that this week I did manage to pick up the DX Chogokin VF31C. I did an unboxing video for it. In fact, I filmed it right here, and the toy has not moved for the past week ever since I filmed that. So yes, that's what I got. But I did manage to get some other things as well. First up is the Gundam Lightning Black Warrior. This was the model kit that Yuma used, I believe. Yeah, Yuma Kosaka. He used this in Battlelog Episode 2. Now, essentially, this is just a black repaint of the Amazing Red Warrior, except I believe it comes with an additional piece for the big gun. I like that kit a lot, the original one. Now it's in black and gold. Couldn't say no to that, so I picked it up. And lastly, I picked up the Make Toys Thunder Erebus. I did mention this a bit earlier in this episode. I said that this was actually the black repaint of the Thunder Manus that was for some reason revealed or released first from Make Toys. And here it is. And you know what? This toy makes me so happy. It is such a great Transformer. This is without doubt my favorite transforming toy of the year. Oh my gosh. It makes me so happy. I mean, you get the little Optimus, you get the Power Master, you get the transformation, and he's just big and black, and he looks so mean. I cannot wait for the proper color ones to come out with the Divine Armor Suit. This toy is amazing. If you want a really cool transforming toy in the third-party realm, I highly recommend picking this up. It's so cool. All right, we've reached the feedback section, so let's answer some comments. And the first one comes from Nicholas, and he asks, if you had your own Persona avatar, what would it be? I think that if I had my own Persona, you know, it would have to be mecha related or car related. And in that case, I don't know. I think I would probably have a bike, kind of like Makoto from Persona 5, only my bike would be red and futuristic, kind of like the Akira bike. That would be my Persona. And I could ride it, and when I evolve it, it transforms into a mech armor that goes around me. I think that would be cool. Yeah, that's what my Persona would be. Magic Jelly asks, your thoughts on Dragon Momoko's supposed closing down? Now, personally, I've never bought or assembled a Dragon Momoko kit, so I have no thoughts on this in either case, but if you were a fan, I do kind of feel for you. I know that they were able to provide a certain style or type of kit that fans really wanted that Bandai weren't making. And it's unfortunate that they're closing down, but at the same time, you know, if you're infringing on someone's IP, it's bound to happen, right? It's just gonna happen. Eric Ramirez says, have you mentioned in your previous toy shows about the other non-Gundam metal build release for 2018, the Mazinger Z Infinity? What's your take on it? Are you getting that too? I have not mentioned that on a previous episode, and I don't know why. But my take is I think it looks super, super cool. However, it goes against everything that I believe in or that I think Mazinger stands for. Like to me, Mazinger is the epitome of the super robot in that he's also just like the simplest design out there. He's just a bunch of tuna cans put together. This metal build gives him all these like panels and details and pieces to him that yeah, he looks incredible, but it's like to me, it's like you go against the spirit of what that thing represents. So I'm conflicted. Will I get it? Probably not. At this point, I've kind of fallen out of love with Mazinger, but it definitely seems like a cool one to get if you have yet to pick up a Mazinger and you don't really care about the the original anime or manga and you're just here for the design. I do think it looks like a very neat toy. Blixen says, "Are you going to get Frame Arms Girls kits? And if you are you planning to review them? And please make a review for Figma F. Corin." I still really do want to pick up a Frame Arms Girls kit. I really do. I really want to check it out and see what the hype is. But unfortunately, it's just the thing that I keep bumping to next month or next month or next month because it's just I don't have enough of budget in the month to account for one of those. And every time there's something else that I'm interested in, I keep bumping the frame arms girls away. For example, this month I decided against picking up a frame arms girl because I wanted to see Hexagear first because Hexagear was more interesting. So yeah, I hope to get one at some point, and you can definitely bet that if when I do get one, I will make a video about it. But I unfortunately just can't give you a timeline to it or any sort of estimated arrival date. Sorry. Adam says, "What's your favorite grunt suit from any Gundam series?" Any Gundam series? Okay, that's pretty easy then. If it's any Gundam series, then I would say the petite guys from Gundam Build Fighters. Because yeah, they're grunt suits, all right, and there's about 1 billion of them. Pixelman619 says, "Hey, Type V3, why do you like Armor Girls really?" I suppose the short answer would be I just do. It's like anything, right? Why do you like Gundams? You just do. You like what you like, and sometimes you don't need an explanation or a reason. But I suppose if you wanted more nuanced detail, I've always liked the idea of armored girls. I think it probably comes from the days when I was younger and I used to play Phantasy Star online, and I loved all the like sci-fi mecha armor that the characters would wear. Because I would always play a female character. I've always been that way. In every game I play, I always play a girl. Don't ask me why. I just like the girls better. And in Phantasy Star, you get like really cool futuristic mecha armor, especially if you played the I forget what the class is called. I think it's like Rakasil. I can't remember. Anyways, you get some really neat armor and it's very techy and whatnot. And I've always liked that design aesthetic. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I actually don't like a lot of the mecha design or the mecha girl designs that Bandai's putting out or Frame Arms Girls. I just am not into like the super skimpy naked girl wearing just bits of armor. I'm more into girls who, let's say, have a full on bodysuit and then you fill up that bodysuit with tons and tons of armored attachments to it. So yeah, I'm more into the idea of mecha girls. I will totally admit though that what's currently being offered by both Bandai and Kodo are not really up my alley, but I want to support the idea, and so I will continue to do so. Pale85 says, "Hi, Type V3. Have you built a tank warship model kit?" No, I haven't. I really have no interest in military vehicles. It's as simple as that. And finally, Isaac Sebastian asks, "Where and how do you store your finished model kits? I can't imagine you have all of them on display." Well, first of all, you're right. I don't have them all on display. I only have a handful that are in a display shelf. As for the rest of them, a lot of the kits I actually tend to give away. At least a lot of the non-build fighter kits. Generally, when I have a kit that's either painted or not painted, I put it back in the box, and when I go to a local toy convention, I bring these boxes around with me, and anybody who asks me about them, they can just have them. Or if I just want to offload them on somebody, I just give them away. Sometimes people come over to my house and they go through, they want to see the toy collection, and I just tell them if they see a Gundam they like, they can just have it because like I have too many Gundams, and I don't even consider myself having a lot, but I know I have too many. And it's just easier to give them away rather than sell them or trash them. So yeah, that's what I generally do with them. As for the rest of them, let me show you. All right, so most of my Gundams, at least my high grade ones, are here. Just lift up the cover. And there you go, a whole bunch of boxes. They're mostly Build Fighter stuff because, like I said, I give away a lot of my non-Build Fighters kits, and basically everything else is just stored in here. You could pick up any box you want, and I'll show you what's inside. So you open up the lid, all the other runners are gone, it's just the kit and all the accessories, the instruction booklet. And yeah, it's a little bit sad, you know. Once I've finished assembling, painting, and filming it, I feel like it's served its purpose, and then I just leave it here to die in its little cardboard coffin. So, hope that answered your question. And that's it for this episode of TV3. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you have anything you want to bring up, anything you want to discuss further, just leave your note in the comment section down below, and hopefully I'll get to it in a future episode. Anyways, that's it for me. To my fellow Canadians, again, happy Thanksgiving. I hope it's a wonderful one. And for everyone else, I hope you have a great week. See you in 7 days. Bye.